My name is Julia Riva, and I live in Rome. The GRIOT was founded in 2006 by Martina Simeti, that worked for 4 years for UNESCO in Senegal, in Dakar. When she came back in Europe, she wanted to bring the richness of African cultures here in Italy. With her mother, Carla, who was a former theater worker, organizer, she decided to open this place with other people, and so they did. At the beginning was also a cafe, a bar, and then in the years we decided to focus more on books rather than doing teas and coffees. Basically, it's a voluntary work because it's very hard to have money from a bookshop, from a small independent bookshop. We want to be a place where African, Arab people and Italians with this ancestry can feel safe and can feel that it's a place where they can be accepted. It's a place for them. At the beginning, the bookshop was quite different because the books were very few. Almost 20 years ago, there were very few publishers that published African Arab literature. This has changed very much, and this is, for us, it's very exciting because now we don't have enough space for the books, and also the people that buys the African and Arab literature are growing. Working here is something that can make society a better society. One of the things that I love of this place is that it's a community, and it's a place where a group of people love to collaborate and work. The literary scene in Africa, it's so big and so diverse. Italian European in general, thinks that Africa is a country, and we are here to show that Africa, it's a continent with a lot of country and different literary scenes. Zambia is not like Senegal, and South Africa is not like Sudan. In Africa there are mega cities, and there are technologies, and there are people that are not so different from European people. Italians see the African cultural influence coming from the USA much more interesting than the things that come in from Africa directly. It's just because Italians are very interested in the USA, and so everything that comes from there, it's very, very cool. In Italy, there are a huge number of young Italians that goes to Northern Europe or to many, many other countries. And the reason is just when you're 20 years old, it's just because you want to see something else. I think it could be the same reason why a Senegalese kid from Dakar want to go, and many of Africans just probably they just go on the next country. So people from, I don't know, Côte d'Ivoire goes to Senegal or to Nigeria, or I don't know, Zambian people goes to South Africa, and some of them try to go here. The problem is that instead of give the chance to come here safely and also spending less money, have a visa and take a plane and be here and try to have a chance to improve their life, or probably to just to learn something else, they are forced to immigrate in this horrible way through the Mediterranean. It's very dangerous, and also through the journey they have to suffer many things. And so people that at the end come here are people with enormous psychological troubles just because of the journey. So at the end we have people that wanted to be here, but then they are not capable to work. If you let the people come just with this horrible way, you will have people here that they won't find their place, because you don't find your place after you have been this horrible journey. It's our Eurocentric perception that everyone wants to stay here because this is the best place of the world, but it's not, because have problems like every other countries. And maybe one African wants to stay in his country but wants to see the world. We want to see the world. Everyone wants to see other places. Coming here, if you are alone and if you are young, could be very difficult. Even if you are lucky enough to do a safer journey to come here, probably it's easier if you're coming here. You have already a community that waits for you, so you are people from your country, and then you have to struggle and you have to fight for your right, because the laws are not pro-migration, but there are many people in Italy that fight for migrants, and so there are many people that help you if you want to fight for your right. And you have to be lucky enough to find these people. The catalog of the bookshop is the most complete of Italy. This is the only bookshop in Italy with this specialization and with these subjects. So it's Africa and Middle East and diaspora, and the races, migrations, and Black USA. There is a lot of research because we spent many hours looking for new publishers in Italy and abroad, because we also have a section in French, English, and Arab. Now there are many self-publishing, and looks like every Italian that goes like 3 weeks doing voluntary work, I don't know, in Kenya or something else, come back and want to write his experience in Africa and tell us everything he learned in 2 weeks. So all these kind of stereotypes is what we don't want to show. And so we try to select mainly the main space for us. It's important that it's filled with Black authors. In the last 4 or 5 years, mainly after COVID, I saw much more Black people coming to do tourist. And this is also important for Roman people that see that Black people are people that can afford to be a tourist here, and so they have to be treated like every tourist. There's still problems with people that don't treat Black people in the right way, with a very subtle and very small racist manners. And so this is not good. But more people comes here from US, UK, everywhere else, and also Africa. Probably more the people learn how to have a proper way. I don't think that we can change the society, but we actually have been a pioneer in this. because now a lot of people are interested in Africa. Now there are many art galleries that wants to do projects with us, and journalists and many interests. Probably we are not changing the society, but I think some of conversation about these subjects have been born here. One is the work we did in these years about Italian colonialism. Italian was first in Eritrea, and then Somalia, and then Ethiopia and Libya. What they say is that Italian were good people, and they bring civilization there, and they made the road, and they made the buildings. My grandfather was in the Ethiopian-Italian War. He was in Ethiopia for like 3 years as a soldier, because it was a huge war. And we talk about it. It was part of my university degree thesis. I did a thesis about it, and I interviewed him about it. He didn't was a soldier, because he was like a telegraph worker, but he told me that he saw very horrible things, and he wasn't a racist because he thought that there were human being, the Ethiopian people. But of course, he was born and raised in a place where racism was natural. We always had Italian black people, and there are many figures of Italian blacks during the centuries, but nobody recognized it, and because it's the inner racism of the Italian ideal population, that it's white and it's European, but we are not. We have many diverse origins, because we are in the middle of a sea, in the middle of different countries and continents. And so this is, I think, one of our contribution to change the idea that Italy have of herself as a country. What I'm doing in the last 17 years, it's to talk about it. So I think I'm using my privilege of a white Italian girl that could study and live in the main city and have a good life, and to talk about it. I think Italians first should read more. In general, the problem of Italian publishing market is that they publish so much, but Italians read so few books. So reading books in general, it's important to be more interested in what young black Italians are doing in our cultures. Now there are a new wave of creators, and they're here, and they are in some ways changing our society in the best way. So I think Italians, they need to accept that they are here, they will be here, and they deserve, if they want, to be Italian.
The Libreria GRIOT is a bookshop based in Rome, and what they are doing here, I think, is very remarkable. They are bringing African authors here to Rome to learn about the African culture, to learn about the essence of Africa, and I think this is very noble. It reminds me of one of our icons in Nigeria, T.Y. Bello. T.Y. Bello, from her music, from The Land is Green, a song of hope for Nigeria, to how she showcased the Mother Teresa of Africa, which is Mama Ekundayo, dedicating music to her, to how she turned that photo bread seller into supermodel overnight, to how she showcased Tope Alabi, a musician, and introduced her to our generation. I think it's just remarkable. We're really trying to impact the society. So I think Libreria GRIOT should be commended for what they're doing. They're not here to make profit, but they're here to make impact. With places like this, like the Libreria GRIOT, the future of Africa is bright. And we can help solve the problem of racism. We can help solve the problem of African migration and make the world a better place.